Murphy here, Denver Metro Realtor, to give you your, what month is it? April 2020 Denver real estate market update. So as crazy as it is that we are sitting here in this pandemic, looking at the numbers, just if you looked at the numbers alone that I'm going to share with you today, you would never guess that we're in the middle of the coronavirus pandemic. So let's just go ahead and jump in and get started. I'm going to start with average sales price. So the average sales price in Denver in March came in at $513,526. That was a record average sales price for the Denver area. It was up 5.53% from February and up 7.31% year over year. And those are increases that really we haven't seen in a while. They've been going up and up and up. So those are some good increases that we've seen. I do want to break that down because that $513,526, that's both detached single family homes and attached homes all lumped in together, so I do want to break that down for you. The average sales price in March for a detached single family home came in at $567,382, and the average price for an attached home, a condo townhome, came in at $386,344. All right, let's look at sold homes. 4,296 homes sold in the Denver area in March, which was up 12.02% from February, but down 5.12% from March of last year. Now, sold homes, we market as sold once it's closed. So you got to look at the fact that those sold homes likely went under contract in February, maybe some of them in January, because we do typically have about a 30-day close here in Colorado. So really most of those homes probably went under contract before any stay-at-home orders or whatnot. But this is interesting because if we look at under contract numbers, Denver really had a busy month with homes going under contract in March. 4,992 homes went under contract in the month of March. This was up 8.03% from February, down 7.64% from last March. But that's not down very much considering the fact that we're staying at home. A lot of people are just, maybe putting off their home buying. They had planned to home buy in this spring, but maybe just putting it off for a couple months. I know I have some out-of-town buyers, several out-of-town buyers who have delayed their trips due to the fact of the stay-at-home orders. Makes sense, right? But that's pretty good considering the fact that what we're going through right now. Let's talk about inventory. So as you know, our inventory has been getting tight again. Not that it ever totally relieved. We've been in a solid seller's market for the last few years, but last year we saw some relief in the spring, and as the year went on, it started getting tighter and tighter again, and really at the beginning of 2020, we really needed some more inventory. So let's take a look. Active listings, we had 5,776 homes on the market at the end of March. This was up 19.46% from the end of February, but down 8.2% from the end of March of 2019. So we still have less inventory right now than we did last year. Okay, new listings. So again, despite the pandemic, there were a lot of homes put on the market in the month of March. We have 6,663 new listings come on the market in the month of March. This was up 30.24% from February, which in a normal year, that makes sense because as the spring selling season comes upon us, more people are listing their homes. It was also up 7.38% from last March as well. All right, so we have in our inventory, we have more than we did at the beginning of the year, but still less than we did last year at this time. Okay, one thing that I do want to mention is withdrawn homes. So this is not typically the type of year where we see a lot of people withdraw their homes off the market. That's just when someone decides, to take their home off the MLS and it's no longer for sale. So that's more common, around the holidays. You'll see that sometimes people take it off for December, put it back on at the beginning of the year. But we did have a good number of homes withdrawn from the market in March. 761 homes to be exact. And 625 of those homes were in the last 2 weeks of March, during those stay-at-home orders. And, it makes sense. With the stay-at-home orders, and the virus, people don't want people walking through their homes and bringing in germs, so that makes sense. But that's going to affect our inventory a little bit as well. So coronavirus, what do we have in store? Obviously, I don't have a crystal ball. I wish I did. But what's going to happen to our market? And of course, there's a lot of unknowns. Some of it is how long this is going to last and how long before, the stay-at-home orders are lifted and people are getting more back into normal life. Obviously, the shorter that period of time is, the better that we can jump back in and recover. I do want to mention, so we did have a big change in real estate that just started today, and that is that the state of Colorado has decided not to allow showings of homes. So up until now, we have really been staying pretty busy with new listings and homes going under contract. I imagine this is going to have a big effect because most people want to see a home before they buy it. Now, I work with a lot of out-of-town clients, and so I have sold a good amount of homes sight unseen. I'll go take videos of the homes, and people just go that route so that they can move into the Denver area and have a home to live in. If you live here and you're shopping, my guess is that's not ideal for you. I'm sure that there will still be some homes going under contract, but that is going to put a temporary halt, I'm sure, on the number of homes going under contract. Like I said, hopefully the stay-at-home orders are done by the end of April, and we can be moving on in May with our summer selling season, but only time will tell. Okay. I do want to talk about the differences between the Great Recession that we had in 2007, 2008, when housing prices dropped so much, and kind of the difference between the climate then and the climate now. I read a report today from the First American Exchange Company, and the author was Mark Fleming. He is a lead economist there, and that's what his article was about, is kind of the differences. Because you probably, or may not know, that a lot of times when the United States goes into a recession, the housing prices don't always drop. In fact, I think out of the last 5 recessions, 3 of the recessions, home prices didn't drop at all. So it's not always the case that we go into recession and the housing market prices drop significantly. Of course, the last recession, the Great Recession, 2007, 2008, the housing prices dropped dramatically, and a big part of that is that recession was greatly driven by the housing market and the bad lending at the time and whatnot. So yeah, housing prices did take a big hit at that time. Right now, of course, if we see recession, which is a good possibility with all the people that are losing income and losing jobs, and hopefully businesses come back and jobs return, but we don't know. But I don't remember the beginning of that last sentence. But hopefully the housing prices remain relatively the same and don't drop too much, and people get back to work. But let's look at I'm just rambling, let's look at those differences from that article I read this morning by Mark Fleming. So first of all, one of the biggest differences is that the housing market is not overvalued right now, and it was back then. Now you might say, Courtney, housing prices are too high here in the Denver area. You can't possibly be telling me that home prices are not overvalued. Well, there are ways that economists are able to look at that information, and what they do is they take median home prices and they compare them to the buying power of home buyers. So the only time that the median home prices in the last 20 years, the only time that the median home prices were higher than consumers' buying power was in 2005 to 2007. So that tells you something. That's right before that Great Recession. And in fact, right now, the buying power of home buyers is double that of the median home price. So that's one of the reasons and one of the ways that we're in a different position now than we were then. The next point that he made was that the housing market is underbuilt. So before the Great Recession, we actually had too much supply. The homes were overbuilt, which contributed to the crash that we saw. Since 2009, even though you see so many builders, new communities, even though it seems like you see a lot of those, we have not been building at the rate needed to accommodate new households in the United States. So all these years we've been underbuilding. So right now we do not have, we're not in a position to where there is oversupply. In fact, there's undersupply right now. Next, equity is at historic highs. This was a complete difference than before the Great Recession as well. At that point, as you know, a lot of people had overpurchased, again with those bad lending practices. Oftentimes people didn't put any money down at all. We had all those interest-only loans, and so people were making their payments and nothing was even going towards the equity on their home. So many reasons, but Americans really didn't have a lot of equity in their homes. Right now, like I said, historic highs in Americans that have equity in their homes. So what that does is the housing prices can drop a bit without people being upside down in their homes. Also, it gives consumers the opportunity, if needed, if they're in a bad financial spot, to potentially refinance their house, pull some of that money out to get through a difficult time. So those are some of the differences there. I wish I could give you a better idea of where we're headed, but stay tuned because I'll be giving market updates. I think next month will give us a good idea of at least what April will look like. Like I said, it may not be a great indicator of exactly where we're going because without having showings being allowed, we may take quite a dip in homes that are going under contract and whatnot that we may see a great relief from in May, but stay tuned. I'll try and keep you updated on what is going on in the Denver housing market. And yeah, so subscribe to my YouTube channel. Planning to buy or sell in the future. If you have questions for me, definitely give me a call. Again, my name's Courtney Murphy, Denver Metro Realtor. I'd love to talk to you. All right, thanks for tuning in and have a great day.